Want to know the simplest way to make more money? Well, I'm going to share it with you in today's episode. Welcome to the Bringing Business to Retail podcast, where I, Selena Knight, share strategies, interview retail revolutionaries, and delve into the minds of e-commerce experts to help you grow a profitable, independent retail or e-commerce business. If you're stuck in a rut, or if you feel like business is way harder than it should be, or you've overachieved all of the things that you've set out to and are wondering what to do next, or how do I even make this better? I know that you're going to love today's episode. If you're stuck in a rut, feel like business is way harder than it should be, or you've achieved all of the things that you set out to and are wondering what next, or how do I even make this better? Then I know that you're going to love today's episode. Hey there, welcome to the Bringing Business to Retail podcast. I'm Selena Knight, the retail growth strategist, and today I'm going to share with you the simplest way to make more money. Now, last weekend, the fam and I headed down to the beautiful south coast of New South Wales to our beach house that we have down in Mollymook. Now, Mollymook is a gorgeous seaside town about 3.5 hours from Sydney, which means it is really popular with Sydney-siders who just want to get away for the weekend. Just like we do, you can head down after work on a Friday, hang out for the weekend, and then head home on Sunday and still be fine and refreshed for a Monday morning. Hey guys, before we jump any further into this episode, I just wanted to remind you that as we speak, Scale Your Store Live 2021 has just gone live. For the next few days, you can join me for 6 weeks of amazing strategies to grow a profitable and purposeful retail or e-commerce business. Now, the benefit of doing Scale Your Store Live with me is that I'll be in there every single week giving you live Q&A coaching sessions as well as bonus trainings. So if you want a proven growth blueprint to scale your retail or e-commerce business, come and join me over at selenaknight.com/scale. And if you're listening to this episode live, make sure you listen through to the end because I will be giving you a $1,500 bonus if you come and join me today. Okay, now back to this episode. So one of the reasons that we chose to buy an investment property in Mollymook is the fact that you can get there easily. It is not a huge trek. In fact, it's about the same distance from Canberra. So most of the guests that we have come from Sydney or Canberra. So you can get there very easily. You can be there, you can enjoy your weekend, and you can head off on a Sunday afternoon. And obviously, when you have an investment, and in fact, we run our property like a business. When you have a business, you have to be keeping track of your money. And so when we got an email from Airbnb to say that they were going to be changing their business model, it was really important for us to be on top of it. Now, this business model was huge for both hosts and guests. What Airbnb did, if you've ever rented a property on any of those vacation rental sites, you'll know that as a guest, you get charged a service fee, and on the host side, we get charged a service fee as well. But Airbnb's new business model is to take that service fee away from guests. But of course, Airbnb aren't in the business of losing money. So what they have done is moved all of those charges onto the host. So now, as a host, we get charged 15% of every single booking, but the guest doesn't have to pay any extra. Now, on the surface, as a guest, it seems like an awesome idea, right? One of the few things that actually stop people from booking are some quite hefty service fees that come from the short-term rental booking platforms. And even worse, there was no rhyme or reason on how this number was calculated. I know personally that different guests get charged different amounts. And in fact, Ed and I have had that as well. We have logged in to book a property and the service fee that he has been quoted was different to the service fee that I had. Clearly, there's a whole bunch of algorithm stuff working in the background, but from the guest's point of view, it's a bit of an icky customer experience. You click that button and the prices are all broken down and you see this $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $700 service fee. And it kind of makes you feel like, that money I could be using to stay an extra night. So I can understand why Airbnb has done this, but as a host, it has huge implications. We've gone from about, say, 6% on our service fee to 15%. And so as a business owner, it is important to know what is happening in the market. It's important to know what's happening with your money. And it's also important to know what the competition is doing. Not necessarily be swayed by what they're doing, but just to understand how your competition are working, what's going on in your market niche, and of course, how profitable you are. And when something like this happens in the market, and this for you as a retailer could simply be your suppliers putting their prices up, or the cost of shipping the item to you from your supplier goes up. If you're not paying attention to these numbers, it is really easy to lose money. And the fact is, I have seen this happening. We instantly, as soon as it came into effect, put our prices up 17.5%. Now you might be saying, well, why didn't you put it up 15% if it went up 15%? And that's because we have to account for that 15% booking fee. So adding 15% is actually going to end you up worse off. You have to add 17.5% to take into account the extra service fee on that extra 15%. Hopefully that has made sense. I'm kind of drawing it all out in the air as I say it. In its simplest form, if you were charging $100, Airbnb is going to add 15%. So if you put it up to $115, which is the 15%, Airbnb is now charging you 15% on $115. So you're losing 2.5%. So you have to add that in, which is where 17.5% comes from. And this is business. This is just understanding your money pillar. How does money flow into, around, and out of your business? But here's the thing. I've been watching other people in the market. And in fact, I'm in Airbnb host groups on Facebook, all these sorts of things. And a lot of people are just deciding it's too hard. I don't want to lose my customers. I'll just absorb that cost. But as you can appreciate, your business has to make money. So losing 15% has a huge knock-on effect to your bottom line. And whilst I'm talking about Airbnb, I do see this over and over again with retail and e-commerce businesses. When I look through the numbers of my one-on-one clients, I can see that their costs go up, but they don't put their prices up. And the reason is usually because they either don't want to lose their customers, they're scared that they're going to lose their customers, or they're simply not paying attention. And right now, you're probably thinking, well, the answer to this podcast, the simplest way to make more money, is Sal going to be to tell me to put my prices up? And yes, that's going to make you more money, but that is not what this podcast is going to be about. What I'm just trying to get you to have in your head, I'm just trying to flick your mindset as you're listening to this podcast to be mindful of the fact that you are in business to make money. And you have to keep track of the costs that you incur as a business and adjust your pricing as you need it. But this podcast, like I said, is not about putting your prices up. When I work with my one-on-one consulting clients, they pay a lot of money to work with me one-on-one to get that personalized growth strategy. At the time of putting this live, it's around about $30,000 a year. And I appreciate that is a really big investment. So I always like to set them up for success. I always like to give them a strategy in those first few weeks of working together where they can boost their cash flow fast so they can feel like they're already getting their investment back. And for a lot of businesses, they make that money back in the first 4 to 6 weeks. Now, I do set them up with my 5 pillars of retail success and the 90-day focus. But when it comes to the simplest way to make more money, you might want to get your pens out, guys, because this is what you've been waiting the whole episode for. The easiest way that I can get my clients to make more money is to send out more offers. More offers, more money. Even better is more offers to more people gives you more money. I know it does sound so simple. And the fact is, it is really simple, which is why it works, which is why the businesses that I work with can make thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars in those first few weeks. So you might be thinking, well, Sal, how exactly do I do this? How do I make more offers? I'm already posting on social media. I send out emails. I'm running Facebook ads. What do I need to do to make more money? Well, I am all about leveraging what you already have. And when it comes to people, customers, there are lots of different steps in the process. You've got to find them. You've got to attract them. You've got to catch them. You've got to connect them. You've got to convert them. That's the part where they hand over you the money. And then you have to keep them. Every single one of those is a touch point for you to give them an offer. And the easiest way to do that is with email marketing. It is the most cost-effective, time-savvy way to give offers to your customers at each one of those points of their customer journey. I mean, once they're on your email list, you have already paid to acquire them. You've already got them past the first couple of obstacles, which is finding them and attracting them. So why wouldn't you leverage the bejesus out of that? Having offers at every single one of those touch points, an offer at sign up, an offer in your welcome email, offers with your regular newsletters, segmented offers. And the thing is, I actually know the reason why you're not doing this. And that's because you're worried if you send out more emails, people will unsubscribe. And heck, you've already put so much effort into getting them onto your email list. The thought of having them unsubscribe is just too much. But let me ask you this. Do you unsubscribe from every retail or e-commerce brand that sends you newsletters just because you don't want to read them? If you're anything like me, and probably most people, unless you're getting daily emails from a brand, instead of unsubscribing, you just delete them. But the reality is having people delete your emails, look, it's going to happen, but having it happen over and over again is not going to be awesome for your email deliverability. So with my one-on-one clients, I always suggest out that they send 3 to 4 emails a week. And for some of you, that is going to freak you out. 1 or 2 of those will go to the general newsletter list, and then 1 or 2 will go to segments. And realistically, the segmenting, sending those targeted offers to different people who have hit different parts of that customer journey, that is the easiest way to make more money. When you map out the customer journey and you know which offers to send to the right people at the right time, that's when you get the highest conversions, which means that's when you make more money. Now, I mentioned before, you have to find, attract, catch, connect, convert, and keep those customers. It's actually something that we go through inside of Scale Your Store in the customer pillar module. And we talk about putting offers in front of your customers at those different points. Think about it like this. If you have a customer who spends a lot of money with you, customer that comes back over and over again, maybe it's every single week, and they're spending big money with you, then why are you giving free shipping to somebody who just signed up, but not free shipping to someone who spent thousands of dollars with you? It really doesn't make sense, does it? Rewarding people who have shown absolutely no loyalty, but forgetting about the people who are your customer royalty. And that's why I love sending out offers to those true VIPs. We call them customer royalty, the ones who love spending money with you. In fact, they're just looking for a reason, or in your case, an offer for them to do exactly that. So I mentioned earlier that Scale Your Store Live has just gone live. And one of the great things about doing Scale Your Store Live is that for 6 weeks, I am there every single week giving you Q&A hot seats, giving you additional training, answering all of your questions. My team and I are there to walk you through my proven growth blueprint. But here is the juicy part. I love to reward action takers. Just like I mentioned, the people who are prepared to spend money with you need to be rewarded. And so if you come, as you're listening to this live, if you're listening to this when this goes live on Thursday, the 25th of February, Sydney time, if you come and join me in the next 24 hours inside of Scale Your Store, my team will build you that high converting email funnel inside of Klaviyo for your customer royalty. Now, we charge $1,500 to build out this funnel. So if you come and join me inside of Scale Your Store Live, you are literally making your investment back straight away. But it is only available for 24 hours. It is my offer, because remember, the simplest way to make more money is to send out more offers. It is my offer to the people who want to take action. A $1,500 email funnel built for you by my team when you sign up to Scale Your Store Live, but only on Thursday, the 25th of February, and that is Australian time. And guys, you don't have to work out the math. There is a countdown timer over at selenaknight.com/scale, where you'll find all of the information. And for those people who join today and they pay in full, my team will build you that high converting customer royalty funnel inside of Klaviyo. Now, just quickly, I will wrap up for those of you who maybe are listening to this podcast for the first time, just what Scale Your Store is. It is not an online course. Now, sure, it might look like an online course from the outside because there are trainings and there are workbooks and there are online videos, but actually it is a true growth tool. Inside of Scale Your Store, you'll work through the 5 pillars of retail success: money, sales, customers, marketing, and impact. And then once you have an idea of how all of those pillars work in your business, you'll work out which pillar you actually are crap at. Yep, you have to focus on the one that isn't the most fun, the one that is holding you back. And what we tend to do is we tend to focus on the things that we're good at. We tend to slide back into the comfortable safe space and do the things that we know aren't going to make us uncomfortable. But when you do that, your business doesn't grow exponentially. So understanding the 5 pillars and then working out which pillar is holding your business back is key. And once you've done that, I then give you my 90-day plan. I'll show you how to map out the right strategy for you to work on that one singular business pillar. But you don't just get the framework. I actually give you strategies as well. Every single module is broken up into those core foundational trainings and then a whole bunch of strategies. So you choose the strategies that you think will work for your business, and then I will show you how to implement them in your retail or e-commerce store. And this is why it's not an online course. Because every single quarter, every 90 days, you're going to need to work on a different pillar. Now, you're probably going to have to work on those sales and marketing pillars more than once per year, but with having these different strategies, it means you get to customize what's going to work for your business, because every business is different. Not every strategy is going to work for every business. So you get to personalize your business building roadmap. So our first live kickoff call is Sydney time on the 4th of March. And on that call, we'll be setting you up for success and diving straight in. Now, I only do this live round once, sometimes twice a year. So if you want that extra personalized help, the chance to have live Q&A one-on-one coaching sessions with myself and my team, head over to selenaknight.com/scale. There will be a link in the show notes as well. And together we can start scaling your business. And remember, if you are listening to this live for 24 hours, you can grab that customer royalty email marketing funnel build that my team will build for you inside of Klaviyo. It's valued at $1,500, but if you come and join me inside of Scale Your Store Live in the next 24 hours, the countdown timer will tell you if you still have time. You'll get that as a bonus, totally free. I hope to see you inside of Scale Your Store Live. And I hope that this podcast has made you realize that making money doesn't actually have to be hard. The simplest way to make money is to make more offers. And you can make even more money by making more offers to more people. Okay, that's it from me. I'll see you back here again next week. Bye. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Bringing Business to Retail podcast. You can find all of the show notes over at selenaknight.com. If you found something that you heard today particularly useful, I'd love it if you could leave me a review on iTunes or Stitcher. And of course, feel free to share this episode with someone that you think could benefit by listening to it. Want more retail biz strategies?
You can watch the Bringing Business to Retail TV show, where each week I'll answer a question or provide you with a simple, actionable retail biz strategy that you can implement in your business right away. If you have a question or a guest, I'd love to hear from you. Drop my team an email at podcast@selinaknight.com, and I'll see you on the next episode. Have a great week.